What it is. What's up, guys? So this is another segment of talking to myself. I had this entire fucking thing planned where I was doing it. The backdrop was the train tracks looking into downtown Charlotte. It was going to be absolutely fucking amazing. And I asked somebody, I said, hey, listen, I'm going to shoot this thing in front of the train tracks. I don't really have permission or anything. You think that's cool? And this individual's like, yeah, you don't even have to really worry about the tracks. They're not even active on Wednesdays, which is today when I'm shooting this. So I'm like, oh, fuck, great, awesome. I go there, I set it up, and if you guys have seen the endings of these, those of you guys who don't listen to it on the podcast, you watch the video, this setup takes for fucking ever. I show like a montage of it. It just takes a long fucking time. Load up all the gear, put in the car, drive to the tracks, walk 100 yards in, set it all up, and a fucking train comes through. Just ruins the entire thing. Like, there's no way I'm going to get good audio. And that train, after researching it and spending literally 7 minutes on Google, with my own effort, I realized that shit's going to be running every 30 minutes, and it's just going to make it impossible. So now I'm in the back of a fucking alley behind my building, and, this backdrop will work. For those of you guys listening on the podcast, you don't give a fuck. But it leads me into today's, segment. It was bullshit. I asked somebody for advice, and they gave it to me, and it was bullshit, but I was, lazy. I didn't think to research it for myself. I didn't think to do any critical thinking or, fact-checked anything, and I got fucked on that. It was absolute bullshit. How many of us listen to bullshit from other people, whether they be like honest lies, like someone knew they were lying to us about something, about our business? Oh, no, you don't need to file that with the IRS. Oh, no, you don't need to pay that fine. Oh, no, you don't need to classify people as 1099 or W-2. And we buy into it like, oh, yeah, cool, my buddy owns a business. He told me. How much bullshit do you believe about your business that is actually, like, you don't believe it to be bullshit? I'm here to tell you today that there's a lot of shit that you might believe that is 100%, in fact, bullshit. And let's start off with number one. How many of you started a business and you didn't think about the end in sight? You started the business because you loved coaching, you loved fitness, you loved bar or CrossFit or yoga, and you didn't think about the ending in sight. You didn't think about, well, how do I get out of it one day? What do I do with it? Couple options. You go out of business, you sell the business, you hand down the business. Pretty much the three options for the most part. It could get more complicated in very rare scenarios, but for most of you guys, you're going to go out of business, you're going to sell the business, you're going to hand the business down and keep it within the family. Son, daughter, whatever. How many of you believe you have a sellable asset, something that you could sell? Let's go with the middle one, selling. I think that's bullshit. I think there are far too fucking many of you that think you have a sellable asset and you don't. You don't have a sellable asset. You think you own a business and you fucking don't. You don't own a business. You think that you have created a car, right? Let's use a car analogy. You've built a car. You've got windows in that motherfucker. You've got an engine. You've got a radiator. There's exhaust. It's got a steering wheel. But listen, you've got all the pieces and parts of a car, but does it actually run on its own? Is it all literally put together? Could you show me a diagram of how it fucking goes together in case I wanted to deassemble and reassemble your car? How it works? I think far too many of us, especially in the bullshit that we tell ourselves as far as like, oh, I'm going to sell the business one day. Are you? Are you? Are you going to sell a car or are you selling a bunch of parts? Well, no, the engine works pretty good, but that fucking exhaust, man, that thing that's no bueno. That needs some work. That sounds a lot more like the businesses that I first talked to. When I talk to a microgym owner, they don't have a complete car. It's not put together yet. It's not operating well as one singular unit. It has a lot of bits and parts that do well and bits and parts that don't. That is not sellable. Now, for some people it is. Who would you sell a fucked up car like that to? You'd sell it to some hobbyist, tinkerist, someone who's going to like that rehabs cars, things like that buys them on the cheap and knows how to do the work and is going to, rehab and build the car themselves. So yeah, you could sell it to somebody like that. That's a fucking tough find in a microgym market. The microgym tinkerer, the guy who buys broken microgyms and fixes them up and then flips them. I don't know that guy yet. I haven't heard of that guy. I feel like that guy should have a fucking awesome YouTube channel, though. So then who are you selling this business to? Who? Most of you aren't even selling a business, you're selling a job. You're selling a fucking job, a low-paying job at that. A low-paying, high hourly, and crazy, crazy stress job. So when I hear all these, so there's so many guys right now that are exiting their gyms. And by exiting, they're choosing option 2, door number 2. They are selling. And when they sell, you generally hear something like this. Yeah, it was just time for us to get out. Me and my wife, we have this other venture we wanted to work on, or my kids were getting ready to do this in life and I wanted to be around more, or I was just burnt out. I didn't want to do it anymore. Great. So tell me about the sale. Who'd you sell it to? Oh, I sold it to so-and-so. A coach, another gym owner, someone looking to get into the scene. Great. How'd you do? Did you make the money that you wanted on it? Yeah, we did okay. Not as much as I'd liked, obviously, but we did. You probably didn't do dick. You probably did not sell that thing for even close to what you probably could have, because it wasn't an actual business. You sold somebody a job and a bunch of broken parts. Yeah, well, Stu, we contacted the SBA, my local SBA branch, and they told me 7 times EBITDA and blah, 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 or 10x my gross earnings over the course of... Shut the fuck up. Valuations of microgyms right now are the most fucked up thing I've heard. I was recently talking with Aaron. Aaron Smith is a employee over at Insight Tax. She works at Insight Tax, John Briggs' company, an amazing, amazing group of individuals to help bookkeep, do profit first, financial planning for you, taxes, awesome people over there. And Aaron asked me, Stu, we're doing a valuation of a business. What are the things that you think of? So I'm kind of running through, the aspects of evaluating a business, and I think it's the most bullshit thing we have right now in the microgym scene. There's just not a lot of good case studies of people selling successfully profitable businesses that they've walked away from. The car runs on its own, and there's not enough precedence of that. Very few. Most of us are selling for pennies on the dollar, and we're selling to some coach who can't even afford to pay the full $200,000, $100,000, $20,000, $40,000, whatever it is, right then and there. So you come up with some installment plan that the installments will only exist if the business is successful. How many of you guys have heard that story? Or maybe some of you listening did that. You sold it to somebody who couldn't pay cash, so you had to come up with a payment plan. But their ability to make the payments only survives if the business does, because otherwise they have no revenue to make you those payments. So now you as the seller, think about this, as the seller, you take on 100% of the risk to complete your sale. How fucked up is that? You worked 8 years. You gave 60 hours a week. You and your wife almost got divorced. You missed X amount of recitals and soccer games and all that other bullshit to run a thing that never really became a business. And then when you went to go sell it, you got maybe the depreciated value of your shitty fucking equipment. And you might have gotten some kind of credit for the amount of revenue you were generating at that time, but we all know that doesn't fucking matter because it's such a personal-based business that once you pull the operator and the owner out, sometimes there's an exodus and the new owner comes in and you're not my real dad, and we all know that fucking scenario. I think we're telling ourselves some serious bullshit. We're not fact-checking when we think about selling our business. There's been a couple companies that have come out, Gym Exchange, that really try to kind of, not broker, but really try to establish some data points there. I know Jeremy over at Barbell Jobs, I believe he's maybe even trying to get into that scene as well with what he's doing. But there needs to be more fucking data before we can start believing the bullshit that, oh, and yeah, I sold. Oh, congrats. No, fuck that. Fuck congrats. I see someone in one of these CrossFit affiliate owners groups like, oh, I'm selling. I'm not thinking congrats. I'm like, you got fucked. You got raw dog fucked and you didn't even get taken out for a steak dinner. That's what happens generally in a sale of a micro gym. Because we don't sell these things typically when they're profitable. When you actually built a business and you walked away, it now becomes a cash flow asset. You don't sell it. It's why people hold on to real estate. Sure, you could sell the real estate for maybe some big chunk of money, but why, when the rent roll creates a profit because it is larger than your mortgage and your property taxes and operating expenses to own the building? Why would you do that? Have consistent revenue. So when people are like, oh, I sold my gym because you sold it because you weren't making any money. Find me someone who fucking sold their gym and where the things were going great. They were amazing. Oh, I just wanted to open up this other thing. If it was going great and amazing, you could have done both. I did. Look at me, fuckface. I did. I had CrossFit South End, doing great, profitable. I'm removed. Love my staff, love my members. Sat back, did the what the fuck gym talk thing, and started thinking about the market, looking at the market, seeing where things were moving, started interviewing other very successful micro gym owners that saw some moves before I did, started learning, and then, got back in. I'm like, I'm gonna do this urban movement rebranding by a building thing. But the only reason I was able to do this because I actually built a business. I was offered for someone to buy CrossFit South End back in the day. Wouldn't even entertain it. Why? I show up here like when I want, and I work out, and I have staff meetings, and I kick it at the social events and all that fun stuff, and this thing makes me money. Why the fuck would you sell that? So that's bullshit number one. Bullshit number one for you guys listening. Those of you who believe that you are going to exit from your gym profitably, successfully, happily ever after, but you haven't actually built a business. You built a gym, you got rubber floors, you got equipment, and a bunch of sweaty motherfuckers that come through there 5 hours a day. Congrats, you have a fucking gym. That is not worth anything in comparison to what it cost to create it. Guys, the only reason, if you ever read Michael Gerber's The E-Myth Revisited, and I believe everyone, the second you say I want to own a business, before you can file your LLC in your state, you should have to read that. He talks about the only reason to create a business is to sell a business. That's it. Because otherwise, the other two options, you're handing it down to your kids or you're going out of business. At some point, you might look to sell it, or you don't. You hold on to it. Cash flow asset, maybe hand it down to your kids. And then when you're old enough, you don't want the cash flow, you're good, you've saved up, it's retirement time, it's fucking move to Florida and hang out in Margaritaville and all that other bullshit. Then you sell. And you can prove I've had this cash flow asset for fucking 10 years. This is what it rolls. So stop telling yourself this bullshit. Those of you guys who have sold, stop lying to everybody too. Stop. You guys are like, oh, we're close. This is it. It's the gym owner that goes on a Facebook group or on Facebook. It's like, we're selling, we're leaving. Oh, this happened, that happened, that happened. I don't care that your grandma got sick. I don't give a fuck that your kids are, moving on to college and you want to get a fucking house in Colorado. I don't give a fuck. If you're in this industry, you should be able to do both. I know you can. I'm living proof you can. And there's there's tons of gyms who have done this. There's just not as many of us in comparison to those who haven't. And it's because still this DNA of what makes a successful micro gym is still, in my eyes, laden and covered in bullshit. Oh, well, you got to get so many leads, and if you could outspend in marketing your, the competitor, you're going to be fine. And oh no, you got to have the best community coaching and programming. Shut the fuck up. That's what I should I say that so much in my content, and I just feel like, that's so negative for the listener. But I should just have a show called Shut the Fuck Up. Because I hear this bullshit, and I want to be the guy that says, no, that's not it. That's not how it works. There are more factors involved, but it is simple, not easy. It is absolutely simple to do this. It is not fucking easy. So that was the first bullshit thing. After I was getting fucked by the train here today, and I was thinking all right, what am I going to jam on? And I want to jam on this bullshit that I see. And that was the first one, is this idea of the sellable asset. And if you actually have it, here's the second. So I made some comments and content and stuff recently, and any of you guys coming to the Self-Made Summit or coming down the day early to do the micro gym crawl where we hit all the other micro gym models, the F45s and Orange Theories and Metabolics and Barry's Bootcamp. I've been talking about Barry's. Barry's open up in Charlotte. That's a huge thing for my market here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is a huge brand that is a celebrity, LA, Manhattan, Chicago type brand. And they're opening up in Charlotte, which is huge. I'm a huge fan of this, huge fan. And as I was posting about this, I shared the pricing structure for the founding rates that Barry's is releasing. I'm on that email list. They sent out the founding rates, and it was very eye-opening to see the price points for my market because I know what everyone else charges. I know what I charge. And I decided to share that with a group of micro gym owners in one of these, it was a CrossFit affiliate owners group. And so I shared this with them, and a lot of the reaction was very, very, you would have thought I came in and said, Barry's Bootcamp is better than yours, and that's why they charge more. Their cheapest, I believe, goes down to $23 a class, and at their highest is maybe it was 28 or something like that, 27. It's great revenue per class, and they sell packs. Right now, I believe all their models have an EFT at some point, but I believe in the pre-sale they sell packs. They probably need cash up front because of the expenditure and the upfizz, my guess. But anyway, so I do this, and a lot of gym owners jump on the fuck berries train. Do you see it? It's what we call, what did one guy What did Brian McMillan, I think that's his name, what did he call it? I don't know, he called it like Hollywood fitness or something like that, or like, silly fitness where like, oh, it's just people jumping up and over a bench and doing toe touches and all this fucking pussy shit. Like, bro, here's the deal. The reason brands like that exist is not because they got VC funded, right? Not because they had all this money pour into them. That's not why. That's how they accelerated. If you guys have heard of like incubators, like what VCs typically do, they accelerate. Kind of what Metabolic is going to be having happen with the Z Group. That is a franchise accelerator. But they all did start organically. They didn't all start with fucking a national brand. Barry's Bootcamp, and thank you to Theo for the fact checking on this, started in 98 in West Hollywood in a shithole studio in West Hollywood where there's tons of fitness. And he wasn't known as the celebrity trainer back then. And it wasn't, didn't have the red lights and the fucking $10,000 wood-weight treadmills and all that stuff. They started as a regular brand. But we hear of these other brands as smaller guys, as mom and pops that are definitely not doing it very as well financially. We don't have the brand name and recognition. And we want to viscerally attack. And here is the thing that drives me insane. We always attack based on the fitness methodology for the most part. Like, oh, well, that's just bullshit fitness. It's not real fitness. Fuck Jillian Michaels. Fuck Peloton. My thing is constantly varied functional movements at high intensity, bro. And this is the real form of... Shut up. It's adorable. It's absolutely fucking adorable that you think that the market cares more about your belief in a fitness methodology than they do their own happiness and their desired experience, what their palate is. You think that because you know some shit about strength and conditioning, that yes, you know that constantly varied functional movements at high intensity will create a higher work capacity across broad time and modal domains. You believe that because you know that, and you know that a thruster is going to be better for somebody than a hatch squat on a machine and a inclined bench, you think that because you know this shit, that the market cares? You think they give a fuck? Sure, there's absolutely a market for people who do care, who are more educated consumers. But the mantra here is, it's adorable, cute, naive, and fucking stupid for you to think that the market cares about your belief in fitness, your romanticism with a fitness methodology like CrossFit or bar or spin over their own happiness, their own inside their head, what they believe fitness should feel like or look like, or what they do or do not know. Too often you guys come at it like, why would anyone go to Barry's with the fucking lights on, like these red lights? What is this, fucking the Amsterdam, prostitute district? Like, and this fucking music, what are they, in a club? And oh my God, all they ever do is go treadmill to dumbbell circuit. That's all they do. They do bicep curls and isolation exercises and half-ass squats, and they run on a treadmill. Why would anyone do that? Because, and come in real fucking close here, real close. Because this is America, and 1 in 3 of us is fucking obese. 33% aren't doing anything. Anything. I want you to do this. Do this social experiment for me. Go to a hospital. Go to a police station. Go to those two places. Hospital, police station. You could even put in fire department, but I think those guys are better off than the other two. Hospital, police station. And tell me you don't run into the most out-of-shape motherfuckers in the professions in which being in shape seems the most important and the most duh. Like hospital, you see cardiovascular people, diseases take over people's life every fucking day. And yet you look at a hospital, the majority of people at a hospital are overweight and unhealthy. Go to a fucking police station, look at the cops. Sure, there's plenty there in shape, and then there's an obnoxious amount that are not. If you're in America and you're listening to this, I can't speak to fucking everyone else listening, But if you're an American, you listen to this, and you believe that because you have a superior fitness methodology, that's going to mean anything to the market, it doesn't. Until you make it mean something. Do you guys not fucking get it? Your thing, I'm fucking about to break this mic, Sam. Your thing is better, I'm sure it is, from an actual work capacity, biological, functional movement, whatever you want to look at, structural strength, I don't care. It probably is. But you haven't done a good enough job making it look appealing. Barry's Bootcamp looks appealing to the markets it's in. You're right. There are awesome fucking cool kind of lights and music like in a nightclub. Yeah, it's tight and compact like a small bar where everyone has to be close. And there is actual studies being done. Yoga knows this. Nightclubs know this. The closer you can make people together, the more transference of energy and heat, the tighter knit and the better of a tribal experience you will create. Any of you guys with really small gyms know this. If you had a really small gym and you packed it out, you know that's probably the tightest your tribe ever felt. Once you put more real estate in between people and they have more space, you kill the tribal mentality at a psychological level, a biological level. That's not my opinion. That's why CrossFit gyms, as they get bigger and bigger and they want more space for more chipper workouts, and I follow comp train and blah, blah, shut the fuck. Like, that's when you start slowly killing that raw tribal element. So that's what these guys do. They hack tight spaces, efficient workouts, and really, what the fuck is so wrong with a Barry's Bootcamp workout? They run and sprint and jog, and then they get off and do dumbbell exercises. Why is that so viscerally negative to, like, especially the CrossFit cunty, douchebaggy fucking market? Seriously. And I use cunty in the nicest fucking way possible. So many of you CrossFit fucking owners are so elitist in your shit. You just believe your thing is the best thing out there. You can't imagine anyone not wanting to snatch or do a fucking kipping pull-up, or how pistols are not actually functional at all. It's complete bullshit. You can't. Like, it drives you nuts that people go to Orange Theory and F45. They have approached it with the mindset of, I care less about my belief in the fitness methodology versus my desire to the market to see something they want to do. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be like, Stu, I don't believe in that. So what are you saying? I need to fucking revert and change my fitness methodology to placate the fucking masses who are fucking 1 in 3 obese and lazy? No. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying, though, is if you do believe in cleans and deadlifts and sled pushes, if you believe in hard workouts, and that if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you kind of, level of mindset, which I'm all for, you need to find a better way to present it. Have you guys not been listening to my fucking content about creating aesthetics and client experience and good branding and videos and photo and audio that make people feel a certain way about you, so that they don't just think, I don't know, that seems like a bunch of barbells and people dying on their backs, and I saw this one bitch with ripped hands on Instagram, and no, do you guys not get it? What those companies do, right? The Berries and the Orange Theories and all that, and the Metabolics, and the urban movements, totally gonna throw myself in here. We create an outward image that makes people look at it and say, number one, that looks different than what I had thought or what I had seen, right? There's a variable there, and that's for everyone, it's different. The way they speak to me in every single post and their website and their audio and the photos and the copy all sound similar, like the same person's talking. And then when I actually went on site, I was pleasantly surprised. It was an actually great experience. Not only did it look nice, maybe it smelled nice. Maybe they had really cool showers with spa towels and a fucking, koala that jerks you off after your eucalyptus fucking rain shower sauna. I don't fucking know. Whatever. Maybe they had all that stuff. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe it was less frills, just an awesome product. They do a better job telling that story, and they realize that the way to tell the story is to not think about you and your fucking hard-on for fucking constantly varied functional movements at high intensity, but to think about the client, the prospect, the lead, and what would make them happy. What would give them an experience in which they'd say, you know what, I am going to give up a bag of potato chips. I am going to give up happy hour. I am going to give up going home and binge fucking Netflix to go to a gym and sweat and be in pain for an hour. You guys realize that's how you have to reverse it? You ever tell someone a lie and in your head you know it's a lie, but you know it's what's going to get them to do the thing that's better for them? I do it all the time. I used to, when I do consultations, I would lie to clients all the time. I would say, Sally, be like, am I going to gain weight when I do this? I'm like, no, of course not, Sally. In the back of my head, I'm like, bitch, you definitely are. You weigh 120 pounds soaking wet. You are an ectomorph through and through. And the second you touch a barbell, you're going to be putting on lean body mass, which is going to tip the scale. But I don't fucking say that to her. And yeah, I sleep perfectly fine at night. I sleep fine at night. Why? Because the ends justify the means. Because I do believe in my fitness methodology, that once she gets in it and she starts doing it, she's going to love it. She won't care what's on the scale. Some of you guys that are unapologetic CrossFit facilities or hardcore strength and conditioning facilities or whatever, you need to paint, if you want those people, you need to paint a better picture. If you don't, niche the fuck down, go after the hard asses, and stop even commenting or caring what a Barry's Bootcamp or Urban Movement does, because it doesn't fucking matter. It's not in your realm. It's not your ecosystem. It's not the people you're going after. It's a different sandbox. Go play in your own. That's all I just want to get across to you guys. Stop getting romantic about your thing, unless that's the niche you're going to go down. But if you do want the regular person, if you look at the people that go to Orange here, like, fuck, I would love to have them as clients. See how many fucking Land Rovers just drove in? That chick just bought fucking 17 Orange Theory sweatshirts. What the fuck? Holy God. She spent more money in retail in one purchase than half my clients do in a year. If those are the clients you want, you have to come out with you have to position your stuff differently. That's what we call marketing and branding. Man, if there's only someone that's been talking about this shit for years. On this same topic, the thing I want you to realize is I know that you truly do believe you have the best product. I know that, and I would want nothing less. I would expect nothing less. But it doesn't mean it's for them. All right? So again, going to this Barry's kind of idea, let's do it with a car. I'm kind of on this car theme. BMW believes they make the best driving vehicle, the best driving experience in the world. It probably gives them visceral fucking like anger and like ulcers when they see people driving Ford Tauruses and Honda Civics. They're like, God, why do these fucking people buy these piece of shit cars? Well, there are some people that aren't worried about German engineering and amazing design and all the technological features and the brand name. They just want something that's, convenient, inside of a better price point maybe for them, something more low-key. They don't want it to be as fucking flashy. They want that. So BMW doesn't spend any fucking time trying to market to those people. BMW isn't coming out with a fucking $21,000 fucking car. They leave that for the Fords and the Hondas of the world. If you believe your fitness methodology is like BMW, and you truly believe it, just niche down into your thing. If that's who you want. Because BMW isn't going to get Honda customers to convert. They're not. It's a different market. The Honda customers might upgrade, right? BMW might be the thing they want to do. The people at Barry's might want to have a barbell. They would maybe want to do a muscle up. They saw it on ESPN one time. That looked nifty. They might want to. Could BMW create a commercial that shows someone's evolution, in college, and they're hitching rides with friends, and then they get their first real job and they buy it, the nice version of the fucking Toyota Camry, and then they get a promotion and the wife and whatever, and now they got dual household income and kids, and they've got a BMW SUV now. Could that be a commercial? It sure could. Could it storytell? Could you do the same goddamn thing? Could you show the person sitting on their couch doing nothing, then going to the Globo gym, kind of doing nothing, and then going to some bullshit fucking group, high-intensity, cardio-based fitness class, and then graduating to your gym, CrossFit, whatever the fuck you have? Sure as hell could. Do you see what I just did there? Like, literally right here in a fucking alley in the middle of not the middle of nowhere. That idea, you could run with that right now. Steal that from me, please. Take it. But stop bashing these other models because they don't fit what you believe to be the appropriate fitness scheme. They don't adhere to what you believe is actual quality fitness. It's fucking jumping around like a pansy, blah, blah, blah. All right? Focus on your market and deliver to them what they want. And if you want to go all in on just what you want and what you believe in, that's fine. Just realize you get a smaller portion of the pie and you have to niche in your fucking storytelling. But guys, please, let's stop cock bashing these other models, which I really just think has become a huge dick envy. You know, we see this other brand, it's fucking big and loud, and oh shit, they're showing up in my town, and blah, and we just get this dick envy, and it's just completely, I hate that idea. I want you guys to have an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset, and I'm really hoping this second bullet point that I came up with is really going to resonate with you guys. Stop putting the romanticism on your delivery and way you do fitness, and put it on what the client wants, what they desire from an experience level. And you will be much happier, those clients will be much happier, and your business will do much better. So I want to wrap this up with this last one. The last, real bullshit thing I think, lie we're all fucking telling ourselves is that we can buy personality, or brand. We can buy or we can find, or we can really steal the brand for our business. And what I mean by that is we believe that we can fake authenticity and do something on our Instagram gallery or a type of video, or make our website look a certain way, or have certain ad copy, or make our front desk reception wood pallet wall, blah, 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 that is going to bring people in, make people want to be with us, when really, when you look at the ones that are doing the best, they're just authentic. They figured out who they are, and they're through and through, from start to finish, from the fucking front desk reception, to the bathrooms, to the way the gym looks and operates, to the Facebook post, to a gallery feed, to their YouTube channel, to their podcast, to the shirts, to the style of fucking trainers. Do you guys not get authenticity always fucking wins? It always fucking wins. There is nothing that makes a brand more successful than just figuring out who they are and sticking to it no matter what. No matter what. Isaac and me were having a discussion the other day. Potential hire. Potential coach for development. And I did not think the individual met the brand in image, the way they looked, the way they, in personality, and their core, what we call core values, who they were as a human being, and their own goals. Just didn't fit the brand. However, highly credentialed, very popular, has a huge following, pretty sexy. They met certain things, but they didn't meet the authenticity. They weren't authentic to my brand that I've created. So we had that's a hard pass for me. Very hard pass. Right? Not hard. Just not hard decision to make. It's just very easy. Boom, on to the next. Being authentic fucking wins. I'm going to use a recent example of authenticity that maybe you might not create brand business parallels to. Alec. Is it Alec or Alex? Whatever. We're going to call him Alex. Maybe it's Alec. I don't fucking know. Alex fucking Smith. If any of you guys know this guy, if you're in the CrossFit world, you'll know his name. Alex Smith is a competitive CrossFit athlete. He has gone to the games. He's a phenomenal gymnast. And this kid is a fucking heartthrob. I've watched this kid on Instagram, and I'm like, this dude probably slays pussy. He probably gets laid every other hour. Good looking dude, right? He seems super nice. You see his persona and his personal brand come through on Instagram and social media. Very nice, genuine guy. He just seems like an all-around great dude, and he could be a cocky little shit because he is one of the fitter people in the world, right? He's got the aesthetics and the ability to do crazy gymnastic feats, things that we all sit there and look at and be like, God, I would give my left nut to be able to do something cool like that on the rings. A triple axis, double spiral, 180, touch the toes, behind the back, 360 fucking flip, whatever, one-armed. It's amazing what this kid does. Now, if you've been following this has been a really big development. Alex came out that he was gay on social media recently. On his social media, he came out publicly and said that he was gay. He came out of the closet, and it was viral. It went insane. The world, the followers and people celebrated and rejoiced at him. And I've got a couple theories on this. The dude's posts are so raw and authentically him now. I think his personal brand will absolutely explode over the next 24 months if he continues to stay authentic and speak that truth. Because he has no idea how many individuals he's influencing, some that are maybe, repressing true identities and not coming out with it, and others that are just repressing truths. I can totally see a microgym owner watching Alex and be like, this dude had the balls to come up on social media and tell the world that he was gay. And I don't even have the balls to tell one of my coaches that I really don't think they fit our core values and that they need to go. Or I don't even have the balls to tell Sally that she's a fucking toxic member and that her ass needs to hit the road. And this kid is out here fucking risking it all. Like, I mean, he's literally putting it all out there. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure he has sponsors. I'm sure that had to weigh in his head, what would sponsors drop me? I don't think now in a 2019 world that thing happens much anymore. But I'm sure it went through his head. And then he comes out and he goes, all right, that's it. I'm going all in on me. I'm betting the farm on me. This is what's going to make individuals like him save. When I say save, I mean saving fucking lives. Not like suicide rates and all these things with people who have repressed identities and horrible scenarios like that. He's going to save lives. He's going to inspire millions. And he's going to become an authentic brand. Let's go back to your microgym. Your microgym, I believe, for a lot of you guys, acts in hiding. You don't do things because you're afraid of the backlash of the members, of a coach, of the market. You don't raise prices because you don't think people will pay them. You don't change the programming because you're afraid your members will revolt. You don't fire that client or that coach because you're afraid of the backlash. You're not authentic. Metabolic is one of the best authentic models I've ever seen. Brandon and Kirk put together copy and marketing material in which they talk about, we don't fuck with barbells because of this. We don't believe in over cardio-based workouts because of this. They come out and they are the most authentic brand, and I am so excited for them to be at the Self-Made Summit because it's amazing that I don't have to pay for a ticket to go to this. I'm going there, I'm speaking, but I will be learning more than anything. But they're the most authentic brand I think I've seen in the microgym space to buck the trend of CrossFit and create this model. And I look at guys like Alex Smith, and I just think the same thing. I'm like, this fucking kid is essentially doing what I want the microgyms to do. Being authentic to who you are, and now just doing everything around that. Now every post he makes, let it be gay as fuck. And when I say gay as fuck, I mean Alex as fuck. Him as fuck. 100% real as fuck. That's what I mean when I say that. Because that's who he is. And if more of you would figure out who the fuck you are, your brand and what makes you, like what you embody, you would be more successful. If you were a hardcore CrossFit, go fuck yourself. If you're not, CrossFit workouts will smoke you like cheap crack type CrossFit, then fucking go all in on that. And if you were more authentic, but no, you want to throw up a 6-week challenge and have fluffy fat girl muffin fitness, in the corner and make people no, it's okay, Sally. You've never touched fitness ever. Come on in. These overhead squats aren't that scary. Come on in. 6-week challenge will have you ready to go. 20 pounds or I give you your money back and you punch me in the dick. That's not authentic. Not to that hardcore brand. If you run a transformation center, right? That's what you do is weight loss challenges. And then you want to have a barbell strength class? You want to start a barbell class? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of the closet. You're a fucking weight loss center. You help women lose 20 pounds 6 weeks at a time. That's what you do. Stop trying to be a CrossFit gym. Guys, this is the bullshit that I see, right? This is the shit that keeps me up at night, keeps a very strong whiskey habit. But when I get enough of it in my brain and I got to spew it out, I throw up a few cameras and I make these videos, and I really hope you've enjoyed them. If you got any comments, thoughts, please post it down below. If you're listening to this on the podcast, shoot me a DM. Let me know what you thought. I know this is a long-form type content that I do, but I would love your fucking feedback in it. And if anybody can connect me to Alex Smith, I'm going to feel like such a prick if it's Alex Smith, please do. Because, brother, if you're listening to this, I am beyond impressed and inspired by you and what you've done. I'm happy for you. And hopefully I've been able to make a connection here for enough microgym owners that they're able to hear that. And identify and connect the dots as well. Guys, fucking A. I'll talk with you later.
When there's no one else inside, in the crowded lonely night, well, I wait so long for my love vibration, and I'm dancing with myself, dancing with myself, dancing with myself. When there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to prove.